But yeah, so along this journey of like feminine, masculine, I realized that if you're too much in your masculine, you get
Yeah,
kind of burnt out doing.
yeah,
And if
yeah.
you're too much in your feminine, you kind of feel stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt
Mm-hmm.
this sense of inertia when I was too much in
Mm-hmm.
my feminine. I needed a little bit of both. And I felt very empowered to actually reclaim my masculine too, because that's a
Mm-hmm.
huge part of my being. And I felt very confused along in my childhood,
Yeah.
reclaiming the masculine.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was always this tug of war, and I feel so empowered to reclaim both the energies in myself.
Wow, I love, love, love that. So for people listening, what are some things that they can think about? How can we tell? What are some signs that we are maybe unbalanced, that we're leading with one of those energies, maybe a little too much? Or is there such thing as too much? I don't
Yeah. So in general,
know.
the world is too masculine right now. So
Mm,
yeah, I was in my masculine too much. If you look at our corporations, the hustle culture,
yeah,
work to the bones
right.
culture, in general, we are definitely more in the masculine. And there's some good research around feminine leadership that when we lead, and this is for men, women, or and however you identify on the gender spectrum, that
Hmm.
you can be empathetic, you can be vulnerable,
Right,
and you're empowered to do that. And
right.
so that's the feminine leadership, which a man can also embody and
Yeah,
adopt.
yeah,
And so some signs would be, I mean, being too stressed out, burning out, that's definitely a common sign. But the
yeah,
way I teach, I give some really practical examples. So, for example, when you're working out in the gym, there's
yeah.
some people only doing strength training or
Hmm.
doing cardio or HIIT.
Hmm.
I would incorporate stretching. So it's like imagine the stretch and the yoga after
Right.
your strength training. So that's the balance of yin and
Yeah.
yang in workouts. The other way to think of it, I mean, a simple way to is the pause after speaking is the
Mm.
yin and yang. The exhale and the inhale. So the exhale is the yin, and the inhale, which is energizing, is the yang.
Mm. Wow.
And I know is it Dan 3 Hapkido? I forget.
Yeah, yeah. Third Dan, which is third degree,
Okay.
same thing. Yeah.
So my son does a Taekwondo, so I watch very carefully. And even in Taekwondo, I see how they balance the yin and yang, and it's obviously part of
Mm.
the symbol,
Yes.
where there is this meditation and this slowing down, and then there is this going into action, which is
Mm.
the yang, and then there is the yin portion. And so
Hmm.
it's really watching for that balance that we need. And when we get really aware of when we're out of balance. And I've grown to now that I've been doing this for a few years, I
Hmm.
catch myself when I'm overdoing it. For example, when I'm over binging Emily in Paris, I know I'm a bit too much in my yin. Like I'm just not moving, like just letting go.
Yeah.
That's when I need to like, you know what, maybe I need to like wake up at 5 a.m. or 7 a.m. and go for that strength training class and get some action.
Yeah. Oh, I love that example. That's funny because I was just watching Barbie the other night for a second time in a row because I needed to just veg, just be, really, as you put it. It's just being.
Just being, yeah.
And that felt so good. And I'm now like brought back to the dojo, of course, in my past where I learned a lot about yin and yang. And um, and you're right, even in our movements, there was the hard, fast, aggressive type of training. And then we always had slower, more
Mm.
slower movements, katas that synced with our breath, like all kinds of things and the meditation. So it felt so, so balanced. Yet at the same time, I look back to those 10 years living in New York City, totally hustling, uh, running my own business, like as a personal trainer and health coach. So running around the city, in and out of the subways, it felt hard. It felt aggressive. I was very much, much in my masculine because I had to be to get shit done, to pay the rent, to pay the bills, to get more clients. I really had to be that way. And then when I moved out to Los Angeles, it felt a little bit more expansive. The smell of jasmine and just, I was no longer living in Chinatown and just, I felt definitely more in my feminine. And
Mm.
it's interesting now to think of it in those terms, but even my whole personality, I think, has softened a bit. Not all the way, but a bit. And that also might be, getting older and hopefully wiser, right?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, absolutely. The expansion and contraction felt so, that's exactly right. Like yin is expansive and yang
Yeah,
is
yeah,
contraction. And
right.
in foods also we see that especially I had sugar addiction cycles, and the way I overcame sugar addiction was by balancing the yin and yang energies on my plate.